we will be building a ChatGPT clone. And so if I give it a task like 25 times 25, or why did my mother leave me? Just kidding, she never left me. But it will go out of its way and give me advice. And this will be deployed. You can actually play with the deployed version in the description below. Please don't use it too much because I will lose all of my money and run out of money, which is not good. And then I can't make more of these videos for you, okay? So just don't abuse it. Use it a little bit, but it's going to be in the description below. You'll be able to use the deployed version, and you will build your own, and you will deploy your own ChatGPT clone. And I will tell you this. You don't need Next for this. You won't need JavaScript for this. You don't need any front end or back end skills for this. I forgot to mention this at the start. I should have mentioned this at the start. And this actual functionality, you will have it done in just a couple of minutes. This is the fastest, easiest way that I don't think most people have shown. I have at least not seen anybody show this. And I think this is the best way to get your own chatbot deployed online in as little effort as possible, with a gorgeous UI, with everything working out of the box. It's so simple. It's so beautiful. I wish I knew this before. So you're lucky. Enjoy. And let's get into the video. Now, before we get started, what I also do want to let you know is I will be launching the world's best ChatGPT course and AI course in the world. It will not only show you how to build apps, but how to monetize them. I recently just did a pre-order and it was absolutely insane. We got over 100 students. We got booked out. And so I shut down the enrollment. But if you want to get on the wait list for the next time I launch it, when I actually create the course and I fully launch it, because I just did the pre-order, so now I will be working on building it, click the link in the description below. There will be a wait list. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Get on the wait list because you will learn how to profit with AI and ChatGPT. And that's what also the course is called. So click the link in the description below, get on the wait list. And along the way, I'll be sending you lots of useful apps and cool tips and tricks on how to use AI and ChatGPT to build apps faster and make more money as a developer. Okay. With that said, this is a very interesting and new series that I'm doing that I've never done before. I'm going to be building apps on the fly with you. My goal is to publish one video every single day on Clever Programmer, which is an absolutely crazy goal, and I might die in the process. Hopefully not. But I will literally set a timer for about 1 to 1.5 hours, and then whatever I can build in that time, I will publish that as a video for you, because otherwise it would take forever and I will never get any videos out. Okay. I'm trying out this new series. Let me know if you like this series or not, if you like these apps. And while I'm building this app with you, this isn't like any of the other videos I've done where I have everything already figured out and then I'm just looking at my notes and building it out for you, right? That's what all YouTubers do. This is different. I'm going to be building this and figuring this out on the fly with you. So there might be some weird turns that we make, that we might go in some random directions until we get to the final product. And even this intro, I'm actually recording it at the end, not at the beginning. Okay, so after this, I'm going to cut to like the start of building this app. So let me know if you actually like this, and make sure you let me know in the comments if you like this type of series, because that will let me know if I should keep doing more of these. Okay, so if you like it, then I'll do day 2, day 3, etc. And we will keep up in momentum and we'll keep building some cool stuff every single day. That's my goal, which is, again, crazy. With all of that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and get started building a ChatGPT clone. All right, so let's build an app, and I think I want to start building it with this thing called Streamlit because it makes it really easy to build apps. So for example, you have 3 lines of code here and you have a whole front end for your data application. So it's like you have front end and back end, and you don't have to write any of the code to do the routing or any of that, and it's up and running. So let's do it this way because we want to be building apps with AI. And we don't want to fuck around with constantly using React and Next.js to build backend and front ends, because I think I've hammered that point home already. I think like with all my content. So now I want to focus on content that is like more focused on AI. So like let's stick to things that make our life easier. All right. So in order to get started, I'm going to open up my terminal, and I'll make this bigger so you could see. Okay. All right. And basically, we're just going to go into where I put all my code right here, and I'll create a new directory. So we'll do make new directory, and I will call it day one AI app. Okay, we'll see what we end up making. Okay, because I'll figure it out, and I have like a 1 hour long time limit. So whatever we get done in an hour, that's going to be it. Okay, for this video. So in here, let's go, and now I want to do pip install. I think it's pip install streamlit, right? Where's the starter code? I think it's here. Yeah. Okay. Wait, where the hell's, okay, there we go. There we go. There it is. Pip install streamlit. So let's go pip install streamlit, and let's see if that works. Pip 3 install streamlit. Okay, cool. So just make sure you have Python installed. If you don't have it installed, Google how to install Python, get that installed, and then you'll be able to do the same command that I just did. And then let's do streamlit hello. Why does it say that? Command not found. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I just added all of that to path. So let's try streamlit hello again. Wait. Let's not do that there. Let's go back to where we were. Day one. And now let's do streamlit hello. Okay, I just had to add it to, I had to add my Python script to my path. Okay, and so if you got the same error as me, what I did is I just did echo export path, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then I just ran the source again. So you just have to add it to path. So once you do that, your error will go away. Okay, so now it says, welcome to Streamlit. If you'd like to receive helpful onboarding emails, news, offers, promotions, please enter your email address below. Otherwise, leave this field blank. So we don't really need to do anything here. Okay, I'm just going to hit enter. I'm going to leave it blank. And now on localhost, it is already running, which is super freaking cool. I mean, what the heck? Like, look at that separation. Whoa, how cool is that, huh? Dang, this is a really cool demo. Okay, that broke right when I said that. Some error happened there. Okay. Show code. The code is right underneath it. Oh, okay, nice. So we could see code too for this stuff. Okay, not for everything, but for a bunch of them, we could see code. Okay, great. All right, so now let's go here and see. So what does streamlit hello do? I'm so confused. It didn't even create a file in here. I thought there was going to be a file that it would create. Okay, let's go to the rest of the guide. Okay, check out documentation and forms for next steps. Okay, so here's something I could do in my app. Okay, and then that should probably run it, I imagine. So let's see, is there a get started? Let's see the get started. How do we do this? Okay, quick start. But could I do this without deploying it to, let me see. All right, so in order to run a Streamlit app, what we actually need to do is just create a Python file, and then we're going to tell Streamlit to run that, okay? So we can just code in this directory here. So I'm going to just do this and open up VS Code. You could do the same and just open up that repo, and then we'll just create a new file. I'll call it app.py, okay? Write, cool. Okay, there we go. So this is all I'm going to write in here. All right, and all we're saying is my first app, hello world, and then I'm importing pandas. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Make sure you have pandas installed. So just do install pandas. Okay, cool. So I have it installed already. And now all we're gonna do is we're going to say, okay, sorry if my audio is really bad. It should be good now. My bad. Okay, so now all we're gonna do is I'm gonna just say streamlit run app.py. Okay, and that should open up our app. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we can have this open up like this actually. And now, like, that is so sick, right? We have our app up and running. There's nothing, right? There's no servers. There's no other, there's not million different. This is so exciting, honestly. Like, I feel like I want to build so many apps now because I hated always having to set up a next project and installing all the dependencies and then going in and working with the temp. Like, I just wanted to start this easily. And I'm very, very excited. So let's see how far we get within an hour. Okay. Now I want to be able to obviously have an input where I can say something, right? Because if we want to build something like a chatbot or a chatbot that does something specific, we need to add an input. Okay. And I think I have a cheat sheet actually. So let's go here. And let's take a look. So I have a Streamlit cheat sheet, which is, going to be pretty handy, I think, for a project like this. Let's go ahead. It's taking forever. There we go. Okay. So now it's open. So now I think what I want is an input. So build chat-based apps. Okay. Display a chat input widget. Okay. Cool. So let's try that. And let's see what happens. I'll try this. Sure. Yes. Okay. And boom. Look at that. We got a chat-based input. Now I will make sure that you could see it properly. All right. There we go. So if I said hello, what happens? Test. Okay. So it just gets written and then it kind of just vanishes, right? So we'll learn how to build chat-based apps because I think that's what we want. Where we definitely want to know that. And there's some kind of form thing here too. So where we can put in a form and then a user can put in information about themselves. So a user can put in their name or their email and then it can greet the user, which is super cool. So I want to go see, how do we build like a ChatGPT clone thing? All right. So with chat, right? Hello. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab this and I'm going to replace everything here with that. Okay. And let's take a look at what it's looking like. Refresh. Nice. Okay, cool. Man, that front end is so freaking nice and it's so easy. Like, that's exciting. Okay. All right. Let's go here. All right. Now, okay. Interesting. Okay. So you notice a message is displayed as the author. You can also pass an assistant as the author name to use a different default avatar and styling. Okay. Assistant can say hello human. All right, and then now we can also write something. Okay, build a bot that mirrors your input. All right, so let's try this guy. And I'm going to paste this guy here and let's see what it does. And based on that, I'll also break down what's happening. Okay, so right now, nothing is happening yet. We'll build a bot that mirrors or echoes your input. More specifically, the bot will respond to your input with the same message. We'll use chat message to display the user's input. To accept your input, we'll also use the state session. A way to store the chat history so we can display in the chat message containers. We can use a list to store the messages and append to every time, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, let's accept user input with display the user's message in the chat box container and add it to the chat history. All right. Let me see the full code. We'll grab the full code. And then once that works, we will break it down. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of that. Cool. And we can make this quite smaller. Okay, let's take a look at our bot now. Hi. Nice. There we go. We got a beautiful UI up and running. Did you see how fast that was? Hello. How are you doing today? Okay, that was fantastic. I'm mind blown by how quickly we can actually get up and running with Streamlit. That is an amazing experience. Okay, and now let's take a look at what the code looks like, and we'll try to break down what is happening. Okay, so this initializes the chat history. So if it doesn't exist, it makes it. So this will initialize it, okay? So if it exists, then it'll just keep it and it won't change anything, okay? So then we will refer to it by session state. Okay, so that's what's keeping the history. All right, then what's happening? So then we loop through all the messages that are in the state, okay? And we write out the message with the role and we show the markdown of it with the content of the message. So then probably, so if we look at this, we write down the content along with the role. So if the role is a human, I think it'll show this guy. And if the role is assistant, it'll show this bot, right? Okay. Right, if I change this chat message to assistant, I guess the roles would change. So let's just give that a try. Let's refresh. Let's say hello, test, right? Yo. So you can see how a lot of that is changed to assistant. So whenever you're learning apps, this is how I like to learn. And you guys can see I'm learning with you right now. I never used Streamlit. This is the first time I'm learning. And without playing too much with the documentation and stuff, I like to just get things together and then change things and break things and just see what happens, right? So now that I see, okay, there are some interesting things that begin to happen, I understand like what is going on where. Okay, so this is where I am making sure that it knows that that's the user, okay? And then we append the message, add user message to chat history. So then we take that message that the user wrote and we append it to the history of messages. So like that array keeps getting bigger and bigger. So let's try to print the messages so you can kind of see it, right? So that'll come out in the console, I believe. So let's refresh and let's say hello. And you can see this is what that array looks like right now, right? It says hello. Now I'll write more messages. Yo, hello. Now you can see that that array is getting bigger and bigger. So this was the first time. Then it got hello added by the user. Then it got hello added by the bot. Then it got another hello yo added by the user. And then the third one has 4 items added to it. So that's what's keeping the history. So what's really cool is that Streamlit allows us to keep track of the history the whole time, which makes our life a lot easier. So that's great. Okay. All right. So far, so good. All right. So now with Streamlit, we're going to go ahead and build a simple chatbot GUI with streaming. Okay. And then we'll convert it into actual ChatGPT friendly bot. Okay. So again, I'm going to take you through exactly how I go through this the first time. I like to make sure that everything is working, and then I go backwards and then try to understand the code. And I only try to understand the code that I absolutely need to understand. Otherwise, I just keep focusing on building more things. So I'm going to just go to the full code. And this is the app. So they have a sample app here. Hello. Hi. Okay. So now we're going to take the full code here and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to go to my app and I'm just going to replace all the code that was there, right? So what I did is I just deleted all the code and I pasted this code. Okay. So now let's just see what is happening in our app that's open. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, let's refresh. and say, what's 5 plus 5? So right now, this is not ChatGPT. Hello, how are you doing? Okay, so it's mimicking ChatGPT. So if you notice a couple of things, it has a little bit of delay, which it's doing to kind of trick you into thinking that there's a bot replying, but it's just doing that right now kind of unintelligently, so to speak. Then the next thing it's doing is it just has some random messages, I imagine. So it probably just has an array of like random messages, right? And then it just blurts out one of those. So let's go and check. So if I go all the way down here, yep. So these are the 3 messages, right? It will respond. It will just choose these 3 and respond. Now, what I like to do is make sure that I am correct. So I will test my theory by changing this with banana and changing this with apple. You should do the same if you're following along, which you should be following along. And then we'll remove the last one, right? And we'll save this and we'll go back here, refresh, and I'll say, what's 6 plus 6? We'll say, okay, perfect, right? So this is, we know how to manipulate the key parts of the code to make things work and to kind of ignore the parts that we don't really need to care about that are working. Okay, so now here's the bit that's saying, hey, I'm going to simulate stream of responses. So this part is basically going through and it's faking the little sleep timer, right? So if I actually fake the sleep by this, I think this will be about 1 second or something. Let's try it. So hello. Hi. Yo. Yeah, so that basically delays it by 1 second. And we don't need to, and basically what it's doing is it's writing out, it's taking this message, breaking it down into small chunks, right? So full response, it breaks it down into chunks. And then it first reads out the apple part. So like first it waits like half a second and writes apple. Then it waits half a second or less than half a second. I know, I understand, but I'm just saying for simplicity. And then it waits like, let's just say another half a second to show the apple, the actual emoji apple, and it builds it out. So this part here is just faking ChatGPT. It's not real ChatGPT, it's just faking it. Okay. And then there's a placeholder, which is this little symbol here, makes it look like you're actually waiting for something to write. So let's try that again, test. It's happening too fast, so let's make it go 1 second again. Now let's say hello. Yeah, so that cursor, right? You saw that little cursor thing that shows up. We're also simulating that. Okay, so we fake it, then we show the entire response, and then we append the response to the list so that we always remember it. So every single time you can see the entire thing, right? So that's what's happening so far. So far, so good. Let's go back to our documentation, okay? And you can get to the docs from exactly how I got to the docs, right? I'm in Streamlit's documentation under build conversational apps, which you can find under their knowledge base. Okay, so far it's looking cool, but now let's see how I can build a OpenAI version of it, which is a ChatGPT version. So I'm going to say pip install OpenAI Streamlit. So let's go ahead and do that now. So let's install that. I just copied and pasted that. Okay. Now it wants us to create let's add our OpenAPI key to Streamlit secrets. We do this by creating Streamlit file in our project directory and adding the following lines to it. Okay. So now we're going to create this file here. Okay. So I'm going to say md create the file. Now I have this Streamlit file. Is it open? Why is it not opening? What's happening here? There we go. The file is not displayed because it is a directory. Is T on? What? How does that make sense? This is a file. There we go. Okay, weird. All right, so we're going to add it into here, and then we're going to move this in there. Okay, for now, let's just delete. Can we delete this file? Delete. Okay, cool. And there we go. That's what we want to do. There we go. Okay. I understand what VS Code did. It built 2 folders. That's not what we want. We want this structure here. Okay, so you should have a secrets.toml file. And then we're going to take this. We don't need this. We're going to need the OpenAPI key. Okay. So now we're going to go get the OpenAI API key. How do I get to it? Explore the API. They always make the API part so annoying to get to. All right, so let's click view. So now I'm here under, yeah, basically, can I write it here? So this is the URL I'm on right now. Okay. Okay. So let's get out of there, hit personal, and I'm going to go into view API keys, and we're going to create a new API key, and I will call this day one streamlit. Okay. So I copied that API key. Okay. And now I'm going to paste that API key in here. All right. Just like that. So there we go. So now in my TOML, I have the ChatGPT OpenAI API key. Okay. And don't worry, I will delete it after this video, so nobody will be able to use it. Okay, so don't reveal your API key to anybody ever. Bad idea. All right, so let's go back to the documentation and see what it says. So we're going to grab the full code. Okay, before we even read any of the documentation, let's just grab the full code, and we're going to go here and we're going to paste it. Okay, so I pasted it, and now we're going to again run streamlit run app.py. Okay, and it says ChatGPT like clone. So let's see if it actually is what it says it is. Okay, so now let's say, what is 25 times 25? Oh shit, is that true? Yes, sir. Okay, what is 7 plus 9? Wow. That is so cool, man. We just, in 2 seconds, we got a ChatGPT clone up and running, and we didn't have to do all that work. Like, I remember building this on, what's it called? I remember building this on Next, with Next, and it was so much work, and it took forever to build something like this. And I love how simple this is, like how quickly it just built the absolutely right thing that I wanted. Hello, test, yo, cookies, be a life coach and ask me one question at a time. Making YouTube bangers. Let's see what it says. When the video pops. Nice. That is so cool. Okay. So we can see that the scrolling works perfectly. It automatically brings you down. I mean, my God, this is beautiful. I can't believe I did not know about this. I am genuinely so excited because I want to build so many apps with this. This is so cool. This is awesome. Okay, let's go through the code and let's try to understand what we need to understand. And again, remember, like when I code, I will only try to understand the parts I need to understand, and I will just keep building. I come from a builder's mindset, and I just want to keep on going, like keep on taking it next level. And to me, I already love this a million times more than when I had to build this with Next.js and adding, like try adding and streaming with Next.js and like look at the code you'll have. You will have 50 files for the front end UI and UX, and you will have so many files to handle the streaming logic, and you will, I mean, it's crazy. You'll need to understand back end and front end. Here, we just wrote a script and just magically made everything happen. My God, I am a huge freaking fan. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so far we love this. Now let's try to understand this. So now, can I just change this with ChatGPT 4? Will that work? So I will do ChatGPT 4 and let's see if that works. Okay, save. And again, if you don't have ChatGPT API or OpenAI API, make sure you make one. And I think it requires you to put your credit card, so make sure you do that as well. So I'll try GPT-4 and let's see if that works. Hello. Okay, let's try GPT-5. I mean, because GPT-5 doesn't exist, right? So it should break. Test. GPT-5 does not exist. Okay, so then 4 is correct. Okay. Can I do print st session OpenAI model? Yeah, for debugging, I'm going to see what this is. So like test. Yeah, it is actually using GPT-4, which is absolutely phenomenal. Can it make me a table? So, okay. Tell me, make me a table for pros and cons of 3 different software. YouTube versus Vimeo versus Wistia. YouTube is free, Vimeo is paid, Wistia is most expensive. Best UI UX. Okay UI UX, right? Bad UI UX. And I don't know. Let's just see what it does. So let's see if it can make a table. Oh my God, that looks so good. It can build tables. That is so cool. Man, I'm just such a huge fan of this. I'm so excited about this. This is so freaking cool. Okay. So, all right, let's try to break down the code, I guess, right? All right. So, the secrets, well, they're being pulled from the TOML. Okay? That's where they're being pulled from. And if the model is not initiated, this line of code will initiate it to GPT-4 model. Okay? This will make sure that the messages exist. This is like pretty much like the previous code. And if they do not exist, it will like create it. And then it will go through and start writing out messages like that are already there, the existing messages. This will be a prompt. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, so this is just a regular prompt, right? What's up? What's going on? And this is where we can write. Okay. I don't know what the heck is this operator? Is this some weird Python new thing? Operator Python. What does that mean? Introduced in Python 3.8, the walrus operator, formerly known as assignment expression, offers a way to assign to variables within an expression. Interesting. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, dude, prompt does not exist. How is it just saying prompt? Like, I never read anything prompt related until that, right? This is the first time it talks about prompt. So what's happening is it is taking your input and assigning it to prompt. So cool. That is so Pythonic and nice. I love that I love the walrus operator. I got to learn something cool. This is cool. Tell me what you guys think of this series I'm doing. My goal is to produce 1 video a day like this, which is absolutely insane because I'm essentially going to be building 1 app a day, even if it's a tiny mini app. And I'm going to be learning these technologies with you, which is going to be exciting. So let me know if you like this and enjoy this. Let me know in the comments below. And if you want me to do day 2 tomorrow, okay? Say something like day 2 in the comments or something to encourage me or give me some words of encouragement because trust me, with how many things I have going on, this is hard. And I really have to get myself hyped up to do this. But your support will mean a lot. So let's keep going here, okay? So we got all this. This part so prompt, we put in the prompt, that gets stored in there. And then what we do is we go to our state of messages and we append the latest message, okay? And the role is user and the content is whatever the user put in. And then what we do is we write that out onto the screen. This is writing it out onto the screen, okay? If we have our app up here, you could see what this means. So this is what is writing our prompt out to the screen, okay? And then this over here writes out the computer's message, okay? This entire thing over here actually is writing out the computer's message out here, okay? Now, there's some logic involved here, so let's just kind of go through that. So the initial full response is initially just empty, okay? It's nothing. Then we go through OpenAI's chat completion. We plug in the ChatGPT 4 model. Okay, we give it the model that we gave at the start. And then we say for messages, what we want you to do is for M in messages, okay, we make the stream to true, meaning like if we make it false, right, what it's going to do is if I send it a message like this and paste it, it's just not going to write anything until it's fully done. And then all at once it's going to show it. Or it's going to break, whatever. So we don't want to do that, right? With Stream, it's much better because it will show your message live as it builds it out, which is the experience that the user wants. The user doesn't want to sit there and wait the whole time. So definitely streaming experience is what we want. So Stream is definitely what we want. Set it to true. Also, it breaks if you give it false, so go figure. And then full response is going to be whatever is a new stream that's popping in, we keep appending that to the full response, I imagine, right? We increment full response with like any new text message that's coming in from OpenAI. And the placeholder is that cursor, which is just, make it look like OpenAI is writing to us, okay? And then once that message is done, we render out the full response. We keep rendering out the full response to the screen. And then ultimately, to keep track of the state, we then append the full response to all of our responses, right? So with that said, we've essentially built a ChatGPT clone in just a couple of minutes. That was super, super easy to build. I mean, I bet if I had an editor take this, they could turn it into a 5-minute video, which is like, here's how you build a ChatGPT clone in like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. So this is a really, really nice, easy win. And you have a ChatGPT clone at your disposal. Now, if you want to deploy this, I can show you how to deploy it, okay? So basically, you want to be on Streamlit Community Cloud, okay? And we'll hit deploy now, okay? And the way that we have to do it is we got to put it into a repository, okay? Once we do it in a repository, then this will turn into an online thing that anybody can use, which is what we want. So let's go ahead and do that. So I will say git init, right? In here, okay. And I will say git commit, add ChatGPT clone, okay. And did I forget to do git add? Okay, cool. Okay, if you're smarter than me, then obviously don't add the secrets file. Like that should actually be in your git ignore, which it didn't, VS Code did not create for me, but that's okay. New file.git ignore. Okay, in your git ignore, you want to make sure, so like make sure that you don't make this repo public or make sure you hide your key. Okay, so we want to just do secrets.toml and not, or can we do, I forget what the catch phrase is, but like anything inside of Streamlit. How do we do that again? Can you write the code? Ignore everything in .streamlit. Can you just give me the thing for that? Okay. Let me ask regular ChatGPT because I don't know why, but I'm tripping. Okay, how do I ignore? I have a folder called Streamlit. How do I ignore it and everything else inside of it? Okay. Yep. All right, there we go. Nice. So let's do that. And that should ignore everything. Okay, so make sure that you do your commit after you ignore it. Okay, that's important. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to say git add, git commit. And okay, cool. And now I got to make the repository. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new repository. So I'm just going to call it day one streamlit GPT clone. Okay. I'll make it public. Okay. And we're going to take this and we're going to say git remote add origin, and we're going to paste that in. Okay. And I'm going to say git push origin main. All right. So now this should be pushed. Okay. Everything is here. And now can I hit the deploy button? We'll see. So let's go ahead and say streamlit run app.py. So we'll run this again and let's try hitting deploy now. Okay, so let's go streamlit.com. Let's deploy on community cloud. Let's hit get started. There's going to be a form that you just have to fill out, which I've already filled out. So I don't have to walk you through that because that should be pretty self-explanatory. So just make sure to walk through that and get that done. Okay. We will do new app and find your repo. So it's this one over here. Can I paste that in? Yep, it found it. Main file is app.py, so pop that in. And for app URL, I'm just going to say day one chatgpt.streamlit.app. Okay, or we could say cp chatgpt.streamlit.app. Okay, so clever programmer chatgpt.streamlit.app. So let's go ahead and deploy this now, and let's see if that works. Whoa, that's going to be wild if that works. I mean, this is so nice, guys. Like, you don't understand. That is so nice that we don't have to worry about all this stuff. Like, we don't have to worry about Vercel, signing up on Netlify, paying for all these services. We don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Like, we didn't have to have a back end. We didn't have to have a front end. We didn't have to, oh my God. I didn't have to worry about styling. I hate front end. I hate that. Like, it just, to me, it just seems like a waste of time most of the times, you know? And I just love that I get to bypass all that, work on my AI apps, and then just move on to the next thing. That's exciting. Oh no. What the heck happened? Okay. Well, that's not good. The error message is redacted to prevent data leaks. Full details have been recorded. Okay, I'm going to go check what's happening. All right, so the error I think I found out is coming from, if I move myself here, it's coming from, it says no module found OpenAI. So I'm going to try to add that in. I think there's something called pip freeze. Okay, I think what you're supposed to do is something like pip freeze and requirements.txt. I think this is the equivalent of having like a package.json. So now it's in here, and let's see if we have OpenAI. Yes, we do. Okay, so I'm going to say git add, git commit, and I'm going to say add requirements.txt, and I'm going to say git push origin main. Okay. What is happening? Why is it giving me problems? Git remote All right, I'm just going to force push it. Git push force origin main. Okay, so now I've force pushed it. Okay, let's go to our repo now. So let's look in here. I have requirements.txt with everything. Okay, let's go ahead and delete this again. You hopefully don't have to delete this because you hopefully didn't even commit it. It's just, yeah, so there we go. So now this is looking clean. I don't have the secret key. And for the secret, what I did, by the way, just so you can also do that, this is probably going to be important, is in settings, there's secrets. Just put your secret in here. Okay? Put your secret in there. That way it will know what the secret is. Otherwise, it won't know. Okay? I think that should work, actually. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to, its app is now updating. So it's going to do it. Now it's disconnecting and it's going to go through the whole process. Provisioning machine. There we go. So you could see it now. Right, preparing system. It's doing the whole thing. And hopefully this time it might work. Holy shit. Okay, I got it to work. Okay, I'll tell you what I did. I had no hope that this was going to work, but it did. So what I did is I just went to my requirements and deleted literally everything except for what it needed. So I just added OpenAI and like got rid of everything else. So just do that and commit this, okay, to your repository. And then go ahead and try it. So I have this right here. Okay, I still don't know if the whole thing works. So let's go 25 times 25. Hold on. I think I found out what is going on and why. I think we might still be able to deploy it. I'm going to try one last time. I think what OpenAI did is it automatically deleted my API key. So I'm going to create a new one because I think it found out that it was in a public repo. Because you see it says, if we find out that it was public, it might also disable any keys we found publicly. So I think it found it and it removed it because, look, I don't see any that say October 13, right? So the only thing that makes sense to me is that they must have deleted it. So let's go and take this key. I'm going to go to my app now, and I'm going to go into my not requirements, but actually, sorry. Let's go to our app, and let's go into settings. Let's go into secrets, and I'm going to paste that secret here. I'm going to hit save, and we're going to go to our app, and I will hit reboot app. Okay, so we're going to try one last time to see if it works. Because if it works, that'll be great. I will be able to sleep peacefully tonight because I would have hated my life for making progress and not finishing and getting the job done. So let's see if this works. Okay, so now the app is deployed. Let's test it out. 25 times 25. Yes! Yes! We freaking did it, boys and girls. We did it. Here we go. I figured it out. It was ChatGPT just being really smart and covering our ass, right? Let's go ahead and say, what should I eat for breakfast today? Okay, great. What are the top 5 programming languages? Boom. What are the top 4 dying programming languages? There we go. ChatGPT is putting in work. Okay, fantastic. So there we go, guys. We did not quit. We did not lose. We got it to work. Here's our deployed app that is up and running. And there we go. That's a way better ending. I'm glad if you've watched up until this point. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure your app is deployed and you could share it with the rest of the world. I love your beautiful face. This is Qazi. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.